Hello everyone and welcome to English Language Academy. Today we are going to be focusing on pronunciation practice. I know you're all very excited to do it, so let's get to it. So here's what we're going to start with. We're going to do tongue twisters because these are very important with stopping to think about how we pronounce things in the language. So the first one we're going to start with is Betty Botter. And now I've done this one before, but we're going to do it again because I think it's very important for you to pronounce the B sound. It's kind of a hard one to do. So we're going to read together, and I want you to practice saying it out loud as well. So we have Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter is bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter will make my batter better. And this is for you to practice. So even if you feel like you're not saying it correctly, that's okay. The more you practice, the better you're going to become with these tongue twisters. So I'll do it one more time so you can really listen to it. We have Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter is bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter will make my batter better. Nice. So it's a little bit of a long one, so you can take it sentence by sentence, right? Betty Botter bought some butter, and stop. And just keep practicing that until you feel confident enough that you have it. And then you can move on to the rest of it. So if it's too much for you, then break it down and make it smaller and more manageable for you. And that's the best advice I can give you on that. Just practice is essential, really. Okay, now let's take a look at these ones. These are smaller sentences. So if you're finding that the bigger ones are just way too difficult for you, or you're getting very frustrated with them, then start with the smaller sentences. Like number 1, 11 benevolent elephants. And this one's hard even for native speakers because benevolent has so many things that are just kind of smushed together. So take it slow. And if you're finding that you can't say the full word, then break down the word. So we start with benevolent. Benevolent. Yeah? Benevolent elephants. Okay? So that's a good start. So if you're finding yourself getting a little bit frustrated or you feel like you're not doing it correct, that's okay. Just go slowly and break it down because pronunciation is very important in English, especially if you want to get that American accent. We enunciate a lot more and we pronounce things more. So just take it slow. Let's move on to number 2. Truly rural. This one's hard because it's got the R, and I know a lot of languages don't really have that, hard R. So take it slow with this too. Truly rural. Yeah, this one's hard. So if you get frustrated, just leave it and come back to it later. Number 3, a happy hippo hopped and hiccuped. One more time. A happy hippo hopped and hiccuped. Number 4, a snake sneaks to seek a snack. One more time. A snake sneaks to seek a snack. And number 5, really, leery, rarely, Larry. And that's again that R sound. Yeah, one more time. Really, leery, rarely, Larry. And it's a little hard on your mouth, so you might want to take a break after you say the R's. But again, my best advice is you take it slow, and if you get frustrated, that's okay. Take a break and come back to it. Now, these are really going to help you with your pronunciation. And my biggest tip is to really open your mouth, because in English, almost everything is carried on our intonation, how we sound when we're speaking. That's how you know, if I'm happy or if I'm really upset. Yeah, our intonation goes up and down a lot, so it's very important that you are able to pronounce the words, because the word tells us how that person what that person is talking about, and the intonation tells us how that person is feeling. So it's important to know the word to help kind of figure out what the speaker wants to convey. Yeah, and that's very important in English, is figuring out what you want to say and how you want to say it. So here's another long-ish one. So again, take it slow. Of all the felt I ever felt, I never felt a piece of felt, which felt as fine as that felt. When I first I felt that felt hats felt. Okay, and I'll do it one more time so we can practice it a lot and you can listen to it. Of all the felt I ever felt, I never felt a piece of felt, which felt as fine as that felt. When I first I felt that felt hats felt. So this is again kind of a homonym. It's a word that sounds the same. Felt and felt. They're two different words, actually. Yeah, felt is how something feels, and felt is a kind of material. So they're two words that sound the same, but they mean something completely different. So these are a little bit tricky, and we'll go into those later. Okay, let's move on to the last one. This is a classic. Just move myself here. Yeah, this is a classic one, and I use it a lot with all of my students. It has really good focus on the P sound, which is important in English. So let's do it together. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? And I'll do it one more time so we can listen again. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? And you'll notice when I'm pronouncing it, Peter Piper, I'm really using my mouth to force the sound out so that you can really hear what I'm saying. Yeah, Peter Piper picked. Yeah, so with a lot of English, especially American English, we have to force the sound out. Like we really want to push it out of our mouths. Yeah, picked, peck. Yeah, so we're not just saying picked, peck. We want to go picked, packed, so that you can really hear the sound coming out. Okay, so again, if you're getting frustrated, take your time. That's the best advice you can get for pronunciation. It's going to be difficult. It's going to feel frustrating because it's different from what you know, but I guarantee that these are really going to help you when you want to speak clearly. Yeah, because you want to be understood. You want to be able to communicate. So by doing these pronunciation practices, just maybe 5 minutes a day, you're going to start to hear the difference because you're forcing your mouth into a different way than you're used to. So the more you practice, the more your mouth will remember, and the less you're going to have to really force it. So the more practice, the better, really. All right, so that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe so that you stay informed about all of the new videos that are coming out. It was a pleasure to see you, and I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.